7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
The Geek Week in Review.
I didn't get the memo, obviously. Hello and welcome back to the Geek Week in Review, episode 98. It is with me, Jacob's Toys, of course, the wonderful one and only Clone Trooper, and our good friend Stormtrooper. What? I didn't get the memo.
I thought I was the one that missed things.
I didn't get
I'm
the
gonna be honest, I
memo.
can't hear a word you're saying. Hang on.
For anyone who's watching, right? True story. We have a little chat before this, and then we go live, and we don't see each other for about a minute. So anything can happen in that minute. I had no idea that Ash was going to put the helmet on.
No idea. I just got this because I wanted to rub it in their faces that I got this sent from Hasbro this week, and I was just going to wear this as a wind-up.
Well,
I did not know Ryan was going to grab his as well.
You know me, I've always got a helmet to hand. Oh, thank you. So yeah, there we go.
I didn't get
Ash,
a memo.
The thing is as well, look, mine looks like Empire era. His is so shiny and new. Look at that. That is clone white.
No,
He's great.
I'm gutted. Anyway, thank you very much for tuning in. This is the Geek Week in Review, episode 98. 98. That's mad. If you're new to the show, jump in in the comments. Doesn't matter where you're watching it. We go out across a number of different platforms. We obviously see all of the comments, so jump in with any comments or questions as we go through the show, and we'll throw up as many as we can on the screen. We tend to kind of forget and just kind of answer them as we see them, but we will try to be better at that. We're obviously going to go through things like toy reviews and toy reveals and that kind of stuff, what we've been watching, and of course our Spotlight of the Week. And our Spotlight of the Week this week is going to be Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. So towards the end of the show, we are going to talk about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. We've all seen it. Hopefully you guys have seen it as well. But we will give you a little bit of a heads up. So if you haven't seen it, you can, go spoiler free or whatever. But yeah, how are you, gents? You all right?
Yeah, really good.
Yeah, so I've just seen it. It started with a click. Shelley's comment.
Polish your helmet more, Ryan.
Well, I never. Pretty rude for this time of night on a Sunday, all right?
Right,
it really is the bank holiday weekend. Well, thank you.
Ryan polished his helmet a lot when he was younger, and it made all his hair fall.
Oh, God, this is the problem. Just because it's a bank holiday weekend does not mean we need to resort to being in a carry-on film, all right?
So what we talking about? Obviously, we're going to go to Guardians at the end of the show. Got my little baby Groot out on display because it's baby Groot at the end of the day. I just want to show off his t-shirt. I know I showed you guys really quickly, but it's got this nice little holographic thing on the front. Then the back has this massive Guardians of the Galaxy motif thing. It's wicked. I love a t-shirt. I was like, yeah, I'm having a bit of that. I'm just annoyed that I didn't have it when I went and watched the film. But yeah. So where are we going to go first?
I got a load of random stuff. I never really have. What did I get this week? Because there's normally nothing I got this week. I got a lot this week, and it's all really random stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. What toys?
Yeah.
Let's go with action figure and toy news. That's where we're going first.
In color.
Action figure and toy news.
Dun.
Cool. Come on in, Ryan. What'd you get?
Right. So, where do I start? So, first thing I won a raffle on a Facebook group, right?
Okay.
And I got a sealed 1985 Ewok preschool fire wagon set.
Wow.
From the
what
80s.
What kind of raffles are you entering? What?
Star Wars ones, Jake. Star Wars ones.
Wow.
But the best thing about it is, I genuinely was having a panic attack about the fact I was going to own something that was sealed and that everyone was going to try and set fire to me if I opened it. But the good thing is, because of the heat of my flat, the tape is just flapped off. So it's technically no longer sealed. So it's okay. And I will open it because it will go in my Ewok Village display. So that was thing number one. What else did you get, Ryan?
quick on
Oh.
that note, how much does it retail at nowadays? And how much did you pay for it?
Okay, so £350 was one that I saw sold for,
Wow.
and I did a crisp £10.
Wow. Nice
It's
return.
anything that has got that Ewok sort of TV series logo on it is worth a fortune nowadays. They're really hard to come by.
Yeah, and the fact is, what I really love though is the clearance sticker stuff on it. So
Yeah.
these are the bits I always think are really nice little bits of history. So this was from a shop called Child World Children's Palace.
That just sounds like some kind of like dodgy on the motorway play area. Like
yeah,
it's like
nowadays it
like a
is
soft
definitely
play
like
on the side of the
prison worthy,
M25.
or soft play. But yeah, it's really awesome. I think I will open it really carefully because, like I said, it's unfortunately just because of the heat in my flat compared to wherever this has been sealed, the tape was basically off anyway. I haven't touched it; it's just come off. So I will sort of take it on display very carefully, but I will keep everything as mint as possible. Because the thing is, I'm never going to get rid of it. It's for me. It's purely for me, and I just couldn't believe I won it. So that was my step one number thing. My second thing I got was from a guy who makes has just started his own sort of third party sort of Star Wars figure company. And do you remember Palatoy? It's a big part of the sort of the vintage Star Wars thing.
Yeah.
He started making his own play sets in the style of Palatoy, and his name's Lee, so he's Pal Lee Toy.
Oh, nice! I didn't even notice that.
But yeah, so it's as old school as you like even the box
In
art.
the box
that is
as well.
That's cool.
Constructed the same.
That's
so he bought himself a vacuum former and has made all the plates. There's plastic plates, printed cards and stickers and everything. It's really impressive. So I'm gonna be opening that up. But that's not all.
What? There's
Mate,
more?
There is more. You say Baby
But
Groot, I
wait,
say
there's
Baby
more.
Banther. Stan
yeah,
Solo, Baby Banthers.
Nice.
And right now this one, I'm going to go really high tech with this. I'm going to see if this works. So bear with me 2 moments. Right, guys, I'm going to go dark. Let's see if this works. Oh, the problem is the screen brightness, I think, is probably going to ruin
They
the...
glow in the dark. Oh, okay. We got a little bit of glow there. Look at this. Geek Week in Review, now with glow in the dark features.
Yeah. This looks like I'm in the Blair Witch Project now as well.
I was going to say...
I don't know what it is. I see dead people. No, wait, they're my action figures. Ignore that.
Just a quick one while Ryan puts his lights back on. Andy in the chat, how you doing? Shelley, Ronaldo, Dragon Slayer 3913, good to see you again. Michio, Mark, how you doing? Tac. Mick's in the chat. Hello, Mick. We know that this is going to be one of them shows where Mick's in the chat. Obviously, jump in and chat away with us as we go through it. Just quickly, while I went through them, Mark said about the pre-orders. Thor and the Destroyer pre-order is coming up. No, it's out, isn't it? It's up now.
Yep.
It's out. And that's it. We've got Hawkeye and his Sky Cycle, and we got Black Widow, I think, and then that's it.
Still to come.
Now, interestingly, I've only got a few of these on the way. I didn't go all in.
Ooh.
I didn't go all in. But I did read somewhere that we've got Black Widow coming out a little bit later, but there's been no mention of that HasLab yet. No mention at all.
No mention of many HasLabs, actually.
It's almost like they had a few that didn't work. But yeah, okay. Cool. Any other toy news we're talking?
That was all my purchases. But those glow in the dark figures, by the way, 3 of them were from Stan Solo, and 3 were from the next 17. So just to let you know.
Oh, nice. Mick just said there, Hawkeye is Tuesday. Tuesday. Interestingly, as well, Hawkeye's got soft goods. He's got like a soft goods skirt, which looks quite cool. But it makes sense because otherwise, how would he sit on his very cool, very futuristic looking motorbike thing? Woody's Roundup.
So I got this today. So I've got Woody, Jesse, and Bullseye all the same. These were marked down in the shop near me.
This prospects
it's the marionette versions of them from the TV.
That's really cool, actually.
So these are like
I
7 inches tall, and they've all
kinda
got
want
the
that.
marionette strings attached to them. And they come in like a fancy stand, so you can like have it like a proper puppet, and his mouth opens and closes. And
Wow,
Yeah.
that's cool. That is really cool.
You're my favorite deputy.
so yeah,
That is
as soon as I
really,
saw that,
really
I had to get it. They didn't make the Prospector for obvious reasons, as we've discussed before. But yeah, Jesse and Bullseye got theirs as well. So there's 3 out.
How much was it? Just out of interest.
These were 50 quid each, so 150 for the set, which I didn't think was
Okay.
bad.
Yeah,
These
so
were
I've seen a
retailing.
lot more
Yeah,
for a
these
lot
were
less.
retailing in Florida for $90 a piece. So about 70 quid.
That's right. It's not too bad.
Result.
I'm trying to think if I got anything. I don't think I did.
Actually, well, Jake, we did get something. We both
Did
got
we?
something extra this week. Yeah.
Oh, I've not got mine with me.
Can I show it off?
Yeah, go on. Look at that.
Like you sound
Popcorn
really
tin.
defeated.
Down.
Yeah.
Since it's been gone.
This is the popcorn tin that you got at Odeon Cinema when you went and saw Guardians of the Galaxy.
Well, actually, to be fair, what I did was I actually bought it for my wife because I got the Super Mario one. So I was like, I don't think I'll get this one. And then my other half really liked it. So I was like, so I treated it to this one. I've got the Super Mario one that's like the question block, but pretty cool.
You know what? I don't tend to pick up these tins, but I don't know. There was something about this one. I didn't even realize it lit up until I picked it up and the woman put my popcorn in it and turned it on. I was like, oh, look at you. You've like switched it on for me. Thanks so much. But I couldn't have it on in the cinema because it's like really bright.
Yeah.
But it's a cool little tin either way. Obviously, we've got to talk May 4th. We will get to the May 4th stuff in a second. Wreck-It Nation's just asked, though, Sorrel, did you break your non-pre-order rule for any of the May 4th announcements?
I was going to for the Ewoks, the Ewok vintage figures. I think they'll sell out quick, and for Doc Onda, but I didn't. I haven't pre-ordered anything.
There we go.
You didn't get Doc Onda. I really thought you were going to get that one.
Mate, do you know what happened? I was waiting all day for the pre-orders to go live. It went past 6 o'clock. I was like, right, pre-orders were at 6. We're clearly not getting Doc Onda today. And I went outside and went shopping, and then I came back at 7 o'clock to everyone going, "Oh my god, In-Demand Toys have put a pre-order for Doc Onda." I'm like, motherfucker.
This quickly, Shelley said there she saw it at View, and they didn't have anything. She's going again. Yes, Odeon have the popcorn bucket, but the other cinemas didn't tend to have it.
City Bull didn't have a thing.
No,
Our
I'm
Odeon
a
had
bit
quite a few of
disappointed.
them in Chelmsford. So if you really can't get one, Shelley, at your Odeon, if you let us know, I'm sure one of us can sort it out. And
Yeah, it's easy enough to do. One thing I'm really disappointed about, though, is that for a while they did those really cool. Was it Matt Ferguson posters?
yeah, I'm really gutted they stopped doing those because you and me. Do you remember we used to try and when they had the Infinity War one? They had the 5 posters.
Yeah, so you got a different poster at a different time that the film was in, and you had to get all 5 to build the scene. I've got them all; they're all up here. So I've got all 5 posters, and they did 4 Endgame, 2 Endgame ones that were longer ones. But they did them for Civil War. They did them for
They did 2 for Civil War,
Marvels, didn't they? Miss Marvel, not Miss Marvel, sorry, Captain Marvel. But yeah, I would have loved to have got a Guardians one. But there we go. Mick, very quickly in the chat. I think I've mentioned my love for Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed game.
Which one's that game?
Cool.
Is that the one that came out ages ago, like the PS4 one? I'm really behind on my games.
No, so Mick's actually unlocked his surname as a badge. That's pretty cool. Do you know what? Up until now, do you mention that? I never even put your name as a variation of Ghost. So there we go.
I actually just always assumed Mick was part of a secret organization of people that come together to defeat James Bond. But, that was just me.
Joby one quickly in the chat has said he's just at work, but he's popping in to say hello. Have a great stream. I'll catch up on the replay. Thanks very much,
Hello there,
Joby.
Joby
We'll
one.
catch you next time. We got a picture up here.
Dun.
Shall I throw it up?
Going on up here.
Yep, go for it. So starting off the toy news was Mr. Potato Head having a Chucky doll coming out, which I thought was the best thing ever.
That is
That's a shame.
I never thought I would see.
I thought the Kiss ones were the weirdest ones I'd seen, but here we go.
This is even weirder. Yeah, so it's Good Guy Tots is what they're officially calling it.
Wanna
So
play?
like a potato. Oh man,
Mr. Potato Head Chucky.
What?
Weirdest thing ever, in it. But you're like, I have to show that. It's just too mental not to show.
That
So yeah,
is
that
great
is
for
coming out.
random.
That is coming out very soon. And who remembers Little People from our childhood? Do you remember the?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember Little People.
Well, they're coming back in a big way for adult collectors now. Have you look at these bad boys? Nightmare Before Christmas and Hocus Pocus are getting Little People collector figure sets.
Oh, I'm
that
gonna
Oogie
have
Boogie.
to get those. I'm gonna have to get those Nightmare Before Christmas
Exactly.
ones.
I
Yeah,
want the Hocus
same.
Pocus ones as well. I want both. I saw both of them. I was like, yeah, I'm getting all of them.
That's
Ooh.
mad. I think you can
Hocus
still
Pocus,
get Little
Ryan gets
People, can't
controversial.
you? I'm sure Little People's still on the shelves. Like they're still.
Yeah, you can still get them Entertainer, but it's more adults are collecting them than children. Basically, there's more adult collector sets out there than the kids ones.
Man, that's crazy. I never saw them as a collector's item, but
No,
we
but
just don't
maybe
let anything go from our childhoods, do we?
we really don't. And that isn't the only Little People's news we've got, because they're also giving us, as a part of Mattel
No way.
Creations, Battle at Weathertop.
no way.
You can get some hobbits.
No way.
You just made that sound like a disease. You can get. Oh, he's got himself some hobbits. He has. Oh, poor lad. Poor lad.
That is insane.
Scream for that.
I never thought. I love the fact they've rebranded Little People Collector.
Mhm.
Like they've actually proper made it into a collector's item.
The thing that makes me most infuriated about this, right, is because I do want them and I shouldn't want them. There's something so. I don't even have that strong of memories, like core memories of this, but like I do kind of want them.
Because
That's
they've slapped
insane.
things on them like Lord of the Rings and Hocus Pocus, we kind of go,
Yeah.
yeah, I like them now.
God.
That's mad.
When they release the Cocaine Bear versions, I'll be all over it.
Can you imagine?
Cocaine Bear Little People.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
How have you not got a Cocaine Bear t-shirt already, Ryan? That's all I'm worried about.
I probably should actually, but just my own brand. Maybe that should be my new branding. Apparently, Viz has renamed me Baldamus Prime, which I do love, and I think I will start all my Transformer reviews in future with Baldamus Prime. But yeah,
I did get something this week. I just
Oh, you
remembered.
did?
Disney Lego minifigures.
Ah, yes.
Disney Lego minifigures. I've got almost all of them. I'm only missing 5.
Now, did you have a good feel of the bags, or did you just go pure potluck?
Nope. I just went straight in like a rebel and just grabbed the first however many. I got a few doubles, but it's my favorite one.
Yeah,
But-
fire.
Yeah, I got a few.
I went to Lego Store on the day they came out, and the queue, because it was also when the May the 4th stuff was out, everyone were queuing up for that as well. The queue was around the door and out of Meadowhall in Sheffield. It was massive.
Oh, really?
So I ended up sat on my phone, and I thought, hang on, Smith sell Lego. So I went onto Smith's website, checked out, minifigures, did the select store and saw they had 15 plus in stock. So I was like, right, off we go, leave Lego. So we just bombed it over to the Smiths, and we ended up buying 40 between me and my wife. She bought 20, I bought 20.
That's
We've
mad.
got I've got the whole set and a load of duplicates now.
Right,
No,
I've
it's
messaged you though, Sorrel. I need to know what
I need to go through. And yeah, I'll go through all the ones because now we've got our complete set. Everything else is now for sale, so I'll just see what we've got and I'll sell them over to you.
Let me know.
Ash
only
loves a
because-
fucking blind bag, doesn't he? Anything with a blind bag.
I
It could
just
be
went
little
pure
model
renegade.
penises, and he'd be like, "Yeah, I'll get them all because they're in a blind bag."
I just went
Just
pure
bag of
renegade.
dicks.
I went in there. I just grabbed. I think it was 15 or 16. I just grabbed the first ones, went home, and I got I got most of them are what I needed. I got a couple of doubles, but I always just put the doubles in with my Lego Disney Castle. So I've got a full set that I frame or whatever, and then the rest I just kind of put in with Disney Castle and build up that kind of area. So
I don't need 7 Oswald. That's the problem.
No. See,
you
I
got
thought he
7
was going to be the
Oswalds?
hard one. I thought he was going to be the hard one to get. I thought that he would be like a real.
Facilier. Dr. Facilier's been the hard one to find because you can't feel for him because him and Jiminy both have the top hat. So
I've got two of him.
it's impossible to find I've got.
I've got two
We
of
only
him.
got. We only got one of Facilier in the whole set. We only got one.
Oh, see, and I got two
Out of
in the
40.
15th bag. 15 bags I got two of them.
Wow.
And he's
So-
got friends on the
Yeah,
other
insane, isn't it?
side.
I couldn't remember his name though. Like, I really,
Are
running
you
once,
ready?
proper blank moment.
It's one of my
Um,
favorite whole bits. That song, I just love that film and anything that Keith David touches as well.
It's just a great film.
Dale. Sorry.
Now, I don't know. I'm kind of intrigued.
So this is NECA.
Oh, is it?
NECA,
Okay.
yeah. So SH Figure Arts did theirs a while back. They did the Band-Aid version in the white vest.
Hmm.
But this is NECA, and they're going for the yellow jacket version. I'm intrigued because with it being NECA, I collect NECA, so I'm like, I'm gonna look. I'll definitely look to get that. It'd be more in my price range.
Yeah.
It looks pretty cool.
Another one for your shelf. Another one for your
It
shelf.
needs to come with an alternate head though, because it's
I'm guessing
very
it will.
reminiscent of the McFarlane ones. You know, the like they did a lot of music characters, didn't they, back in the day, like all the Elvis ones and that kind of stuff. And I think
Give me a sec. Talk amongst yourselves. Give me a sec.
talk about. Oh no, I've got to talk to Ryan about it. So Ryan, how's the weather?
Did you see that sky today? Talk about blue.
You're doing
That's
things.
an Emperor's New Groove quite there for the eagle-eared listener who's a Disney fan.
Yeah, I don't know though. To be honest with you, when it comes to musicians, I'm a little bit. I don't know. Like
Because they had like the Elvis one and stuff like that. They had a lot of Elvis ones at one point, didn't they?
the
And
McFarlane ones did. I had collected all of
Yeah.
those back when they first came out because they were quite. I don't know. I'm an Elvis fan. It was quite cool to get all the different generations and stuff. But when it comes to these kind of modern figures with, yeah,
So yeah,
I
there
wouldn't
is
mind Elvis
alternate
one.
heads.
it's what?
There is alternate heads. There's two alternate heads included in this set.
Oh right.
So you've got the head, then you've got the regular just posed face, and then you've got like a smiling one.
Can you please
Oh,
tell
wow.
me, is it actually listed as the head?
I hope so.
Because if it isn't, and I really want to see like several A's, like
Mix
No,
just said.
NECA have been. Sorry, go on.
Mick said, I didn't know that McFarlane did music stuff. Those Elvis were McFarlane, weren't they?
Yeah, they were.
pretty sure they
Yeah.
were.
Yeah.
They had a
Back in the
whole
day,
range,
back
didn't they? And they
in-
did a lot of the rockers as well.
Yeah,
rock
like early
legends.
2000s, 2005-ish.
See,
Enough
I'm
that
really.
you can
intrigued
sometimes
'cause-
see them with dust on the boxes at toy fairs now.
See, I'm not sure whether to wait because
Like this idea.
Toy picture of him and Star-Lord doing a dance off. Yep.
I'm
Yeah.
not sure whether to wait because Super 7 are obviously doing a lot of musicians as well. Like they've done Lemmy, they've got Lemmy coming out soon. They've announced they're going to do Van Halen. They're doing a few of them. And
Yeah.
I think they'll probably do like Alice Cooper and Kiss and all because they're all kind of posable, figurey characters. But they'll definitely
Yeah.
do a Queen at some point, surely.
Yeah, I reckon so. Yeah.
Next
Ooh,
up
more
from NECA,
Predator.
we're getting the Feral Predator. So this is the one from the Prey movie, isn't it? This is the Feral
Yeah.
Predator.
You know what?
So
They've
we're
taken
finally
too
getting that
long.
one.
Taken too long getting this one out, in my opinion. Like when I watched the film, if this was available to pre-order, because I even said to you, gents, didn't I? Like, oh,
Yeah.
is anyone doing it? When I watched the film, I would have been all over this. But it's
Because
kind
at
of
the time, at the time of release, they released the Shaman Predator, which is kind of what they're wanting to sell you in the meantime. And then this was
Yeah.
coming down later down the line. The Shaman Predator was very similar, but from the I think from the games, wasn't it, or something? Games
Yeah.
or
I am
movies.
still tempted though. I mean, it's a
Looks cool.
really, really nice figure.
yeah.
I kind of want to know if
Probably
Leonard Corps are going to do a version of it
It's proper grim looking.
Yeah.
because they've done some good Predator figures, man. They're good and they're affordable. They're in my price range, which is not much.
So lastly, before we jump onto the Star Wars bandwagon of all the May the 4th releases, the last one for other stuff this week was SH Figure Arts.
Oh,
giving
this is
us-
ridiculous. Ridiculous. I
Yeah,
mean, it's
yes.
a fantastic looking figure, but the price tag on it is insane.
What is it, dare I ask?
I
It's
ain't got
like
it to hand.
hundreds.
Yeah, it will be. He's got that nice flight stand with him and stuff. It'll cost a fortune.
Hundreds. Just quickly going back, Wreck-It Norton said the same thing. I love Prey at the time. Completely forgot about that film now. But yeah, no. Oh, where's Goblin gone?
Oh, sorry, I took it down. Hang on, I'll get that.
Sorrel's
Played
getting
by
the
John
goblin off.
Cena.
Yeah, I'm sure there was a goblin there on the screen. The thing about this is a stunning looking figure, but most people are going to want it to display on their No Way Home shelf when they finally get those figures out. But there's so many rumors going around about a full No Way Home wave that includes a Green Goblin.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just don't think the casual collector, the casual fan, is going to be forking out this much money for this figure, even though it is stunning. It's absolutely beautiful. But yeah, I don't know.
But
I like it.
I do love, by the way, that me and Ash constantly just do things that just amuse each other, and Jake just keeps it so professional most of the time. When me and Ash start acting like 5-year-olds, I can just see in Jake's eyes sometimes being like, "Oh, these fucking children." Anyway, it's a good figure. It's got great articulation to that.
Yeah,
you must get tired of looking after us sometimes.
No.
Oh, he's got his lightsaber.
Here we go. Well, that's for the reveal. We know what's coming next, don't we?
Yeah. Before
That was
we
a
go
new
to
lightsaber.
before we go into the Star Wars news, right? This has been the bane of my life today.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Why?
I'll take it. I'll have it then.
Right.
Don't worry.
Because I'm an absolute fucking idiot, right? I'm such a fool. I've been sat all day going, it don't work. It don't work.
Batteries.
You don't turn the lightsaber on with this, do you? There's a button at the side.
Oh.
There's a little button here, and it flicks upwards, and that turns it on. And I've been sat here all day going, it don't work, it don't work. And do you know what? Do you know who turned it on and made it work? My 7-year-old daughter. She walked in and went, walked off and went, thank you, you're welcome. Like,
Saber drop.
oh.
Emotional damage.
Yeah, it felt like that. But yeah,
That's always my theory. If you can't figure something out, give it to like the youngest kid because they will figure it out in seconds.
What? Is that why you keep giving me stuff?
Yeah. Right, let's have a play of this for a second. Ah, okay, cool.
It's a lot of things adding up now over the years.
Yeah. Speaking of lightsabers, though, is it true that the Cal Kestis one has started landing on people's doorsteps?
Yeah.
That's
wow,
mad.
that did not take long at all.
No, it
It
didn't
did
at
not
all.
take long at all because they use every, don't they? So it's not going through Royal Mail. They use every. So as soon as people paid for it, if they paid next day delivery, they've got it.
Of
I
course.
don't know with every. You could have it, or someone from Spain could have it because every of that shite. They're still Hermes.
That's really nice.
That is
looking.
so annoying that I don't have that.
Mate,
Yeah, that's very cool.
email have just dropped in. Then it's like I think I've said the name too many times. How did your every driver do today? Beetlejuice.
Yeah, that's all you got to do. If you want things delivered, you just got to say it really loudly over and over again, and then things appear. That is a cool lightsaber, though. That is a cool lightsaber.
It's got the new pulling, so when you turn it on, it does the all the way up. Then you turn it down, and it like goes back in.
See, but the thing is that's a new feature, but it isn't like for the third parties. They've had that for years.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, but now they've stolen that and made it more expensive, and now Hasbro have done it, and now it's like awesome.
If anybody, by the way, is in the comments and has the ability to clip what just happened, please clip that and send it me because that looked funny. Because I'm there explaining a lightsaber, you're bouncing your knee in the background with your arm down. It looks like you're going, yeah, lightsaber, yeah.
Oh, damn my restless legs! I swear, the amount of times I could be called into like a police interview because of this.
But yeah,
don't ever go into teaching, Ryan. Because
do you know what's even worse is that I'm actually sitting here in Bahama shorts as well. So like, as you do, I've gone for like Sonic t-shirt and Bahama shorts because they're the shorts I have to hand because it was actually.
If you have to do work calls on Zoom or anything, just mute your camera because.
Oh no! If I do that, I have to put my hands basically on the desk like this when I do work calls because like. I have to because my legs just are absolutely nightmare.
Because you'll just touch yourself otherwise. That's fine, Ryan. That's fine. We're all friends here.
I don't want
the last thing that the last thing that sent me was the Mandalorian helmet, which came out of nowhere. So I got the big box of Star Wars stuff for May the 4th from Hasbro, and then they didn't tell me they were sending a second helmet in a different box, and that arrived on May the 4th. And it was the Mandalorian one. Have you guys ever tried wearing the Black Series Mandalorian helmet?
What the actual
like
Mando
last
one?
week on the show?
Yeah, the Black Series Mando one.
Yeah, I've got it
Yeah.
here in the cabinet.
Last
Mate,
week on the
it does
show, I
not
wore it.
fit on my head. It's so tight on my face that I'm scared it won't come off.
Wait.
It is a tight fit, I'll give you that.
Hang on, I'm gonna get mine now.
Oh, this is awesome.
This is the way.
This is the way. Grogu, don't do that. Grogu,
Listen,
come
it
here.
doesn't fit on
You
your
have
head,
to go here
Sorrel,
now.
because it's in the box. Take it out of the box. It goes on nicely.
That's where it's been going wrong.
Well, what was I again?
You've been wearing. You can't. You got to take it out of the box to put it on. That's where you've been going wrong. This is screenshot worthy. If we can get this all. If someone can get a screenshot of this, this would be great.
Oh God!
There it is.
It goes on your head fine. What's
It
wrong with
doesn't
that?
want to come off though when it's on.
Dun-dun-dun. Grogu, Banthas, let's get
Oh.
them. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun-dun.
It gets stuck on my cheeks every time. I have to like really pull it off.
I actually
Hang on,
haven't
that's
worn
not
that
good,
in
man.
ages. It's one of my favourite helmets, though.
Oh.
I wear mine way too often, probably.
Once
So
I
you-
lose, once I lose another stone, it'll be fine.
So did you get that from the May 4th stuff?
Yeah, so this arrived on May the 4th. This arrived separately. So I got the phase 2-3 clone trooper helmet, and then this one arrived on May the 4th.
See, I don't do.
Nice.
I obviously I got this one ages ago, but I don't really do much with Star Wars anymore, so I didn't get any stuff on May the 4th. But yeah, it's cool. I like it.
I do like the fact we all have. That's something we all have. Isn't that nice? That's a little bonding experience right there.
We've all got the Mandalorian helmet.
Right, guys. What other bonding?
Just
experience
quickly,
can we
Wreck It
share
Norton
today?
again in the comments. Did you guys see the deluxe sideshow Groot figure? Looks so cool. I don't know if I did. Deluxe sideshow Groot. Anyone see this one?
Nope.
Ooh,
I don't think I did. I'm gonna have to look
I
that
didn't
one
see
up.
that one.
No, when did that get announced?
Groot. What size Groot? Baby Groot, big Groot, little Groot,
Yeah.
cardboard box. Is that still a thing? Is that still a dance move the kids do? Big fish, little fish, cardboard box. Is that
So
still?
let's
is that
talk
still
quickly.
cool?
Let's talk about the May 4th reveals.
Yeah, so funny part was, let's talk about this guy first, because this creeped out of nowhere and scared everyone out to death. So on the announcements, they gave us the show, and this guy wasn't announced on the actual live stream. This is the Black Series Arc Trooper 5s. And then in the press releases for Europe, they gave us this information and all the pictures for the figure.
Yes.
But I don't think...
I remember seeing that.
Yeah, but I don't think Hasbro were meant to send it out because the American team didn't give us any information on this guy. The Europe team did. And
I got
tweeted
that in
about
my
it.
email as well.
Yeah, I tweeted about it. Jedi News tweeted about it, and Fantatrax tweeted about it. But none of the American outlets, like Yakface, was emailing people going, "Where did you get this information from? Is it credible?" Like, it's from Hasbro.
Yeah.
So I think they made a little boo-boo in England and Europe and sent this information out a little bit early. By the time I got out of the Guardians of the Galaxy movie on Thursday, this completely was all over the internet.
All right.
Or Wednesday, sorry.
High fives.
So yeah, but 5 is coming, which is awesome because that'll help us complete our...
Which ironically
our
wasn't
line.
5 in your top 5 reveal.
No,
Maybe
it was
we'll think.
ironically number 3.
Yes, it angered me. It made me want you to redo your list.
And Andy's a legend. Look at that.
Hey.
Nice.
Thank you very much, Andy. Appreciate that, mate. Next one.
We got the TVC Grand Inquisitor from the Obi-Wan Kenobi series.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't look like Jason Isaac's version anymore. It upsets me.
Yeah. Yeah. Whatever.
Then we got Luke Skywalker TVC repacked with Grogu and tree and frogs and
I
tons of
just
accessories.
want all the frogs. I just
I'm-
want all the frogs.
I'm just not really. I'm just kind of over this. I don't really like these packages with extra little bits in it.
For TVC, I don't mind because for me, TVC is all about world building. That's why I like the 3 3/4 inch because I can do more world building stuff, like
They
build
are, but
dioramas and things.
that's not
But
really
yeah,
a world builder, is it? That's like,
It is for my Star Wars zoo.
yeah.
okay, fair enough.
The little creatures and stuff are usable. It's like when they redid the Ahsoka one, they gave us like the owl and all these other little bits. It were kind of useful, little props. Each their own, innit?
Yeah.
But my favorite announcement of the night, Ewoks, the TV series figures. Yeah, we had the
And I know
Droids a couple of years ago.
somebody with a vehicle that these will go really nicely with.
Me too.
Now these are cool, especially for people that like building the Ewok villages because they're obviously the ones from the show, but they would work very well with your regular Ewoks. They'll fit in.
Actually, got my Ewok villages in this box at the moment.
Oh yeah, your Robin Hood.
Your Robin Hood one.
Yeah.
Exact same village.
Yeah.
Well, it's got the tree parts on top as well. It's in that box though was actually not just my Robin Hood one. It's actually my actual Ewok village. Surprisingly, you can get 2 villages in the box.
Nice.
The more you know.
Nice.
So Kanisa as well is a good one to come out again because she's so hard to come by on eBay. The prices for her are ridiculous.
Yeah.
So
Was
to
she
finally
in a
get
comic
Kanisa,
pack originally?
yes, she was. So she's stupidly hard to come by in 3 3/4 inch. So I'm glad they're re-releasing it, to be honest.
And the coins are always a cool thing to have as well because they actually gave out. So in a Star Wars Celebration, they had coins throughout the whole day, which is all medals or whatever they call. So that was quite cool. I managed to get 1 or 2, but they gave them out of different panels and stuff. So I do like the thing. They're quite a nice addition. It's a really good throwback to the Power of the Force line at the last 17 in the original vintage line, which is pretty cool. And the droids and Ewoks cartoon figures.
Are you bored of Mandalorian helmets yet? No, good. Here's Axe Woves, another helmet you never asked for.
Here's a blue one.
Here's a blue Mandalorian helmet. You know damn well they're going to release the Sasha Banks one as well, don't you? Because they've already given us the Mandalorian helmet. They've given us this one. They've given us
you've got Boba Fett, Empire Strikes Back. You've got Boba Fett reskinned for Book of Boba Fett. I'm sorry, for the Mandalorian appearance. You've got the prototype Boba Fett, which is the white version. You've then got this version, and there's one more. I think I'm forgetting somewhere in the middle.
Bo-Katan's version.
Well, Bo-Katan is a different helmet actually. That is a remold. So I've got that one, but that one will easily be repainted 16 more times. We've had the Stormtrooper's been done 4 times. The X-Wing helmet's been done 3 or 4 times, with another one upcoming in pipeline reveal from the May the 4th stuff. So that's getting its 4th or 5th.
You know what though?
Wouldn't they just need to repaint the Bo-Katan one to make it the Sasha Banks one?
Yeah, pretty much. That one's inevitable.
Yeah.
Inevitable.
You know what? If you're a big fan of like Mandalorians and stuff, like the lineup of helmets would look well impressive on like a cabinet or whatever, wouldn't they? Like,
the things about the helmet repaints is I am not complaining about them at all because like that's the thing about Star Wars. A lot of the helmets are standardized. Like, yes, it's a repaint. However, like you said, when you've got them all lined up and stuff like that, they look freaking awesome. Yeah. And you know, the other thing, some people might want different ones, like me, because I would just have all the helmets. There's not any of the ones that have been released so far that I don't want a version of. The Scout Trooper one is the one I'm most excited about, but that will be repainted to like the Commander Grease Clone Trooper one from Kashyyyk in Episode 3, so that's got a repaint value, and probably Scout Trooper Commander from Jedi Fallen Order, so that's got there.
Yeah, Wreck-It Norton's hit on that in the comments saying, yeah, Sabine's helmet, that is inevitable, isn't it?
Yeah, that's coming next.
Now they've got that mold as well to the female Mandalorian helmet, they'll definitely do it.
And that's a cool helmet.
When they announced the helmet, I thought it was going to be Paz Vizsla's because of obviously the way he ended the show. I would have assumed would have gone for a Paz Vizsla helmet.
No repaint value. That's the problem.
Yeah,
it's a bit like, because I always thought it'd be nice to have the Armorer as well. Would be a really good helmet. But I can't see, because there's no repaint value. I think that's where it's going to be difficult. I think with helmets at the moment, where Hasbro's obviously not doing as well as it has been in the past, Clone Trooper makes sense because you can repaint it several times. We'll get a lot of versions of that helmet coming in. Stormtrooper, you can still redo that multiple times. You know, it's just about being, I guess, like creative with what you've got left over almost. So I guess it's like trying to avoid putting the tooling in for a lot of things.
Yeah.
I think, like you said, they'll take out a lot of the features like the voice changing stuff like they did with the Star-Lord helmet. Because I didn't know that it didn't have the Bluetooth in the new version of it until you said about the reissue. But it's obviously costs more, but you get less. And I think that will change. So the Stormtrooper one I've got has got the voice changer in it. But I can foresee, like, when they repaint that next, I think they'll take the electronics out of it. So I think at the moment we're mainly going to see, we've seen the new molds we're getting for helmets for quite a while, and it will be X-Wing helmet, Mando helmets, both female and male, Stormtroopers. We've had a repaint of Darth Vader already, which I didn't think they could do that, but they managed it.
They've just done the phase 2 or 3 clone trooper one, so they can repaint that 1,000 times now.
Yeah,
Ahsoka's clone trooper. Yeah, there's so many different versions they can do with that now.
That will be the first one that comes out, I reckon, is the Ahsoka's clone, because that's a really popular one.
Speaking of Ahsoka,
yeah.
Oh, that was a nice segue, man. That was nice. I like that.
I was waiting.
So yeah, the new Ahsoka figure looks awesome. She's in her apprentice outfit, so this is it's not as early as I would have liked it to have been. It's because this is Ahsoka from the later years. She's a little bit older.
Yeah.
I wish they'd have gone for the full apprentice, like the movie version, where she's really young. I'd have liked that version more, but we're still getting an Ahsoka in the apprentice costume, so
it's still a nice looking figure.
It is a very nice looking figure.
Yeah.
I just wanted very young Snips.
Yeah.
That sounds weird.
Snips.
Then we got a Wookiee that nobody asked for. We got another Black Series Wookiee with chain on. Ooh. So you can arrest. You can have arrested Chewie now.
I missed this one.
Chewbacca,
known as Chewbacca.
No, but which Chewbacca is it?
It's Return of the Jedi Chewbacca. He's got a chain around his neck.
Okay.
Basically, I think a lot of people are going to use.
I see it. Sorry.
I think a lot of people will use I think a lot of people will use the chains from the Jada toys, like Frankenstein figure, and attach that to that end piece there. You could attach the other one to it, so you can have the neck and then the hands tied to the neck. And it would look pretty cool as like a detainee Wookiee kind of thing.
Just like the movie.
Just like the movie.
Pretty cool.
There's a bunch of Return of the Jedi ones, like Wicket's getting repackaged, and there was a bunch of those ones that we don't really need to go into. Yeah, me. God, we've still got so many to go. The Clone Commando is coming out.
Yep.
We really need a picture of him. Do I need to put that up?
No. Do you know what I actually found? If we're just being honest, I found the May 4th reveal was actually quite disappointing. I'm going to admit, I was really disappointed.
So
I just expected one or two big things. I get there's always a lot of repaints and pipeline reveals, but I really wanted something genuinely exciting, and I actually don't think there was anything particularly exciting, especially in TVC. There was definitely, I don't think, anything exciting for TVC. There was a couple of bits in Black Series that were pretty cool, even though I don't collect it. Like the Malgus was pretty awesome, but I don't. Other than that, I can't. Nothing wasn't stayed in my mind enough to be kind of like, oh yeah, wow, No, unfortunately.
Yeah, Malgus was the one for me that was like my standout of the day. I've really been looking forward to Malgus. Obviously, a big fan of the games. He was the one that was kind of like the one that everyone's been kind of wanting for a while.
That was the standout one. That was the big
reveal, really.
Prem the Resistance.
I would be tempted by that if I didn't have the special edition statue version of the game, which has a sideshow collectible statue in it, which actually I might argue looks a little bit better than that. But like, this is for a figure and what it comes with. This is probably easily the highlight of the entire thing. I think by far.
Yeah.
So yeah,
we're going through it though. Yeah. Shelley said, "I don't like pre-order as a rule, but I had to get the Bad Batch wave as I'm worried they won't be available once released. And how do they justify 60 quid for Doc Ondor? Almost the same price.
So the Doc Ondor, if you get it from Shop Disney, will be about 40 quid. Obviously, Inderman Toys are getting it imported, so theirs going to be more expensive. Do not buy from, as much as I banged on about them last week, Double Box Toys do not feed that monster on that one. They have got Doc Ondor for £75. No, that is just retailers are going to scalp this one because they know how hard it's going to be to get.
Yeah.
But Disney Store UK have not said they're not doing it yet. They've just not put a pre-order up yet. Doesn't mean they're not doing it. I say give them a chance.
the Bad Batch figures as well. Like I think
they'll be readily available.
they will sell out initially, but I think that'll be readily available just because of the nature of the show. It's like when those first ones came out, they were really difficult to get hold of, but by the time the sort of series 2 is out, they were easy enough to pick up.
Yeah, so the ones that were kind of like to me, the lesser kind of figures of the reveal. We had the Clone Commander, we had the General Grievous, Clone
Battle
Phase
damaged.
2 Trooper.
Battle damaged General Grievous.
Yeah, whatever. And then we had the Mandalorian now with a cloth good and a little bit of kneecappage or something. Yeah, we really need that.
They should just name it per episode, like Mandalorian Black Series Season 3 Episode 2
really
version.
should.
Like, it's just because there's such a small
Fresh out the
variation
refresher edition.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it.
It wasn't. I was hoping for something really show-stopping, like as in something that no one saw come in, that kind of blew everyone away. That I don't know. It did feel a little bit, but maybe that's just because we had Celebration as well. We only just had Celebration, so there was loads of things going on there. So May 4th is just kind of the overspill. It's the leftovers, isn't it?
Yeah, I think a lot of people were banking on a HasLab reveal of the Ghost. However, I think one of you guys may have pointed out that the Ahsoka series is so close in some ways that it's probably smarter to hold off until then. So I can see if there was a HasLab of the Ghost in progress, that why they might hold that off for now.
Yes.
After the Rancor incident, where it was like it failed and then it appeared in the bloody Book of Boba Fett after it failed. So maybe I think that maybe they're a little bit like, okay, there's a good chance the Ghost is appearing, or they might already know it is. So like, well, let's hold off until Ahsoka comes out because we'll have more likely to get the, stuff.
Let's not forget we've also got San Diego Comic-Con July 19th to 23rd. And D23 this year, September 8th to the 10th, and New York Comic Con, October 12th to 14th. So there's still a lot of big events to hit. They're not going to want to give everything away on May the 4th when they've got SDCC around the corner.
I might actually be in New York when Comic Con's on.
Yeah, New York Comic Con is October 12th to the 14th, and the New York Toy Fair is after that. No, it's before that. Sorry.
Look at Ryan. Ryan is literally the ball has just
30th.
dropped with Ryan. I think I'm there. I think I'm in
Sorry?
New York. Literally, you can see the cogs turning through your eyes there, like trying to work out dates.
I totally zoned out for a minute. I was just trying to work out my dates, and actually, I don't think I am there. Annoyingly, I think I'm like a week after. Shit on it.
That's a shame.
We could have had the Geek Week in Review International Edition. I am going to be going to Midtown Comics and all the other haunts and stuff like that.
Yeah, Midtown's great. Midtown's a good store, but
I
remember
to the
back in the
Ghostbusters
day.
Lighthouse for the next time.
Back in the day when I could pick up Marvel Legends for like $14 or whatever it was. Not even that. But then again, they were the early 2000s versions of Marvel Legends, so not really what we got nowadays. But hey ho!
You need to go under the bridge and go to Jersey and see Jay and Silent Bob as well.
Where it's at.
I would be tempted to go.
Jersey is where
Secret
it's at, mate.
stash. Secret stash.
Comic book stores in New Jersey outweigh the ones in New York City, in Manhattan, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Hands
I know, but I've got to be in Jersey. New Jersey.
Hands down. Just grab a car. Just literally grab a car, jump the bridge. It's fine.
All right, Vin Diesel, calm down.
Not jump the bridge, not literally like jump the bridge, like as in grab a car and jump over the bridge, like jump over the bridge. Speaking of which, I saw the Fast and Furious trailer ahead of Guardians of the Galaxy, and I'm actually quite excited by it. I was kind of like,
mate, I love those films. Good. They are my proper guilty pleasure. They're bubblegum for the eyes because like they're not satisfying. They don't fill you up, but man, are they flavorful and they're fun for a bit, aren't they? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, that's one of my movies. You know, when I'm like, I'm feeling shit, it's been a shit day. It's a rainy bank holiday weekend or something, and I go, what can I stick on where I don't have to pay attention, but every now and again I can go family. Yeah. I know, Fast and the
literally roll a dice and pick a number and like put that one on.
Is it a heist? I think the only reason, are they in space? Who knows?
I think the only reason having to end it is because they're running out of people to put against them as bad guys. Like, who do you go from that? They've had the Jason Statham, then The Rock, then John Cena. Now they've got Jason Momoa. There's no one bigger than Jason Momoa, like
No.
size wise. Who do you choose?
Fast
after
and Furious 13, Donald Trump.
It's not a car. It's not a. All right. I didn't say it was a car. I didn't say we were family. I just said that Dom Toretto is illegal and isn't technically an immigrant, and he will not come into my country. You try and jump over that wall, Dom. I don't care about your family. I'm just assuming this is what the spin-off is going to be.
Yeah.
It's not until you see the trailer where you realise that, because obviously you see, them all stood together, don't you? Like Vin Diesel stood with Jason Statham, and they're all kind of big dudes. And then you put Jason Momoa in front of Vin Diesel and go, damn, he's big. Vin Diesel's a big dude, and then you get Jason Momoa who's like 10 foot wider than all of them.
And he's just hit the nail on the head there. That he's seen all of the movies and he's still waiting for the plot to kick in. I personally, I really enjoyed Tokyo Drift just because it's nothing to do with the rest of the films.
It is now.
Well, it is now.
It is now.
Except for that one post-credit scene.
Yeah, it was like, but now it's like fully woven into the storyline, and it's kind of like, oh man, like, yeah, Fast and Furious 47, Toretto versus Cocaine Bear.
Here's a snapshot of what that would sound like. You may have honey, but I have family. I don't care about your family. I've got to kill a piglet. I'll ride ER into battle and I'll beat the shit out of you, Dom. That's not possible. I'm both fast and furious. I'm just depressed. Not now, ER. Wrong time. That's what's going to happen in that film.
Yeah. Right, we are going to get on to Guardians of the Galaxy. People throwing stuff in the chat. We are gonna get onto that in a sec. Have we got anything else? And we'll move on to our spotlight.
That was it. There was no more toy news.
Let's go on to our spotlight. So our
Andy
spotlight
finally
of
a
the week.
plot.
What?
Andy finally a plot.
Finally a plot.
Right.
Are we ready for Spotlight of the Week?
Spotlight of the week.
Spotlight of the Week.
Can I just say, episode 100, there's a little bit of stuff going on behind the scenes. We'll have a slightly different look to these things, which is quite exciting. It won't be us like winding a meter. Anyway, spotlight of the week is, of course,
into a tin for that effect. All right, that was special effects.
That was good. Spotlight of the week is, of course, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. If you haven't seen it, we are talking spoilers. We are going to break that down. We are going to talk about the ins and outs, the highs, the lows, all the rest of it. Just quickly, as we kind of get into it softly, out of 10, just give it a numerical value. Where would you rate it, Ryan?
8.
Oh, I'd go for a 9.
Oh, I feel like a bit harsh now.
9.
6, 7.
6.
It were all right.
6.
That was the most. If anyone was ever looking like that, is the most thing that's identified where you're from in this country that you've ever said.
Hello, my lover.
Yeah. Hey up, it was all right. Cup of tea. Didn't even serve tea.
Oh, we got our northern chapter in the house.
There was no gravy in it.
There's no gravy in it.
Shelley, we're starting to click. Shelley rated it 20 out of 10.
Shelley told me off because apparently I didn't want her to bring tissues, and I take this on now to apologize to the nation as everyone's watching. I didn't forewarn you all. I apologize. Forgive me, Shelley.
I'm going to say there were aspects of it that I was kind of a little bit disappointed about, but the overall thing of the movie was so good. Those bits that were disappointing kind of were pulled up.
I really want them to bin off Kang and keep High Evolutionary as the main villain, because he was more terrifying than Kang.
Yep. 100%.
Kang did not feel threatening, did he? But the High Evolutionary, the way he turned in that film, like the way he acted, talked, spoke, he was just menacing as hell.
And he was
agreed.
He was messed up in the head. Like he was insane. And it was something as a villain. I don't think we've had a villain like that since kind of the Red Skull, like the potential of
Yes.
Red Skull, where
No pun
he
intended with
was
this.
so unhinged that you don't know what direction it was going to go in. And the nice thing is as well, I completely agree. And I would go as far as putting money on the fact that the guys at Marvel are kind of guys and girls at Marvel, guys, girls, and them, and everyone in between. I'm trying to be very inclusive here.
Sorry,
Everyone
Jake.
at
You
Marvel-
have already been cancelled. That was too late. Sorry, mate.
Everybody at Marvel, whatever whatever, right? They are
People,
all going.
Jake is the word you're looking for. People at Marvel.
Is people okay though? Are you allowed to say people?
No, you've
Like-
just been cancelled again. Sorry.
We're just digging a bigger hole here.
Listen, Marvel, right? The voices at Marvel are 100% going.
Oh, you can't say voices anymore because
What
you've
about
been
those?
mute.
What about those that are
Sorry.
voicely challenged?
Yeah.
The
vocally
imagination, the right.
Oh,
Listen,
you can't.
Oh, jeez.
Andy, his H's response. Them at Marvel. Hey,
them at Marvel,
them at Marvel, right? You know
are
that comic studio.
Are 100% going. How do we rewrite this one in? And the thing you got to remember about High Evolutionary, if you're a comic book fan, is he crosses paths with a lot of other characters and franchises, and he's one of them villains, like predominantly with story arcs like the Fantastic Four and stuff. And obviously, we got one in the Fantastic Four wave we had recently. But yeah, just seeing him and the way he was so unhinged and the way they wrote the character was incredible.
The way he acted it as well.
Absolutely incredible. Yeah. It was just brilliant. And he was menacing and he felt like a villain. Like there was a couple of cheesy bits in it, but yeah, he just felt
It wouldn't
like
be Guardians without a bit of cheese, though.
Exactly. It was Guardians, wasn't it, at the end of the day?
But the thing is, I do rate it as I think it's the weakest out of the three.
Yeah.
But the weakest of probably the strongest trilogy in all of Marvel because and it's the thing that makes me, like I said, I've had Marvel fatigue for a while now. I haven't even finished 2 of the TV series, and I will get around to at some point. You know, I've not really been that excited. This was the one I was really excited about.
Yeah.
And when I saw it and I came out from it and how I felt, I was like, this is why I still love this part of the franchise. Like I almost don't think of it as Marvel. I almost wish there was a way that there was like a clip, like a thing where someone's condensed all the stuff from the other films that they appear in and put it into one thing I can just watch separately without having to watch like the whole of Thor and Love and Thunder and Endgame and stuff like that. If I could just watch like just the Guardians bit, like a Guardian montage bit.
There were a couple of questionable bits for me that I was kind of like Mantis obviously had a much bigger part to play than she has done in volume 2. Like she was much more kind of established, but they kind of went with the story. But they didn't make anything out of the brother sister thing. That's the bit that kind of annoyed me. Not saying that they had to make something out of it, but there was
only a couple of comments,
wasn't it? Yeah, it was the big kind of cliffhanger part of the Christmas special or the holiday special, and there was no real nothing to do with it. Do you know what I mean? I forgot about it, to be honest with you, and I was kind of like, oh right, okay. Why did they do that? What was the reason for that? I loved Gamora's arc. I loved that she had a newfound family and how much they all kind of loved each other and everything like that, like the other Ravengers. I thought that was really, really cool. What was your favorite aspect of it? What was your...
Oh, go on, Ash, you go first.
My favorite thing was the running joke between Kraglin and the dog. Good. It was a good one.
I have an incredible film. My favorite thing was the running joke.
That made me laugh every time he came on the screen. They did that stupid joke of, "Am I a good dog? No, you're a bad dog." Oh, that kept me entertained for the whole film.
Even like the broker making an appearance at the poker table, being like, "Will you just say?" Which was a really nice little tie into the first film. Just seeing the broker just randomly there.
Well, at that table, they also had one of the guys from the band in the holiday special. Obviously, Howard the Duck as well. who looked like he had some work done. Let's be honest, he looked a little bit different than he did. Yeah, and then obviously the other characters. But no, I did like it. I really liked Kraglin's story as well. I like the fact that he kind of stepped into that role eventually, and it was the bit with Adam Warlock where he kind of like, you really thought that was going to be his big moment. He was like, who threw this at me? But,
and just to correct as well, because last week we were on about Leica, we were about the dog and stuff, and we said it was based on the dog who played it or something.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It was based because the dog. The reason they changed it to a female is because it was based on Leica, the first dog released into space from Russia. That's why she had the Russian accent in the film.
I knew it was something.
It was
like
based
that.
on Leica. So I looked it up when I came. I was like, why did that dog have a Russian accent? It's because it's based on Leica, the first dog that was sent into space, basically.
I knew that there was a reason for the change. I thought it was the dog that
they grounded it in a little bit of reality.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it was funny.
We got to talk about Adam Warlock though.
The wasted thing that was Adam Warlock.
What?
Mummy's boy Warlock.
I think because he's going to be the Drax mixed with Star-Lord character going forward, and that's why they did him as they did in this film, because he will be a more central part going forward.
Yeah, I don't know.
I did find him funny, and I think I like Will Poulter anyway. I think he's just a really good actor.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the difference probably for me is I know nothing really about Adam Warlock from comics. So for me, it's impossible to have any other influences. So I just saw it as almost like a new character because, like I said, I think I've seen him in a few panels when I've been reading other stories maybe, but I don't really know anything about him. So there was nothing to be ruined for me or not to get right. So mine was purely based on the new character that I'd seen, and I found it really funny. But I can imagine, because I saw a couple of people commenting that it was so different from the books and everything. So I can imagine there's probably a few people upset about that. I don't know.
After a while, I was enjoying the film so much. I was just taking it as it was. I wasn't kind of being critical in that aspect. But there was just the way he kind of went full circle, and I thought the whole film happened because of his actions at the beginning, and then by the end of it, he's in the group hug, and I'm kind of like, not quite enough time's passed, but I don't know. The biggest thing I think I was annoyed about, he didn't have a cape, did he?
No.
But the action figure does.
I didn't know. Did he have a cape in the opening sequence before he landed? And then the cape got destroyed as he had the first fight. I kind of felt like he might have had a cape when he landed.
I missed that completely then. I thought he was capeless, and I was just kind of like, okay, so there we go. We've got another repaint coming out soon. The like Adam Warlock without a cape. I was a bit annoyed about Nebula's kind of upgrades because there was no explanation to it. It was just kind of like, oh yeah, we've got nanotech or whatever it is now. There was kind of.
I don't think there needs to be an explanation because then you're just over-explaining everything. It's obviously from Tony Stark because the jetpack was obviously from like that kind of design. It's Stark Tech. She spent all that time with Tony Stark in Endgame and Infinity War. Like, why wouldn't she have it?
Yeah, I kind of liked her being a little bit more cyborgy, and I like the kind of the twisting of the hands and all that kind of stuff. And so just the fact that she had something that conveniently converted into whatever it is they needed at that time, I was just kind of like,
Not that it did them that much good every time, but
no, it didn't. It didn't.
That I will say one thing is that my favorite character arc across the Guardians of the Galaxy, films and stuff like that we've done now has been Nebula. That is my favorite character arc from beginning to end. So I actually caught the first Guardians of the Galaxy film was on TV the other night, and I actually caught like most of it. I ended up just watching it, and I forgot how good it was.
Yeah.
But like two, like the arc and how small the team is and everything like that, because like it is just the 5, and then you see Nebula in there and like the enemy, and then there's stuff in the end game and all the bits like that, and you see where she is, and then where she is at the end part, and then the fact that she cries when this is when we get into spoiler territory, by the way, people. She really cries when Rocket comes over the voice comm and she finds out the Rocket's alive, and you can see that emotional bit, and it's just like I thought that it was really lovely. I realized her arc and the way she started dancing at the end, it was that freedom bit.
Oh yeah,
It was just really cool, and I think her character arc has been my favorite across the whole thing.
yeah, her arc was really well done. Stephen Butler said Rocket done the upgrades. They said so in the movie. Yeah, they did. It was that part where she was kind of fighting Adam Warlock, wasn't it? But I don't know. I just thought it was a little bit of a thing. Shelley, however, did say about people saving people, but why didn't Star-Lord have his helmet? Why did Star-Lord
Did it
not
get
have his
destroyed in
helmet?
another film?
Yeah, but if Nebula can have a flipping new like finger trap looking arm,
Maybe when he was drunk, he forgot to put it on.
Yeah, but it was Star-Lord. One of the coolest things about Star-Lord was his kind of leather jacket look and the mask and the blasters. Like everything that made Star-Lord cool was kind of like visually cool was kind of taken away from this film, I thought, which I thought was a little bit of a shame.
Because you don't hire someone as pretty as Chris Pratt and put a helmet on them. The same as how you don't put a helmet for long on Katie Sackhoff. It's the same story. Hollywood want to keep the pretty people pretty.
I don't know. They made an exception for Judge Dredd with Sylvester Stallone.
Right.
So
Can I just say, Pedro Pascal in Mandalorian, we've seen his face like once, and that has sold. Because people don't want to see the face underneath; they want to see the helmet. And I just think, yeah. Stephen Butler said as well, what did you guys think of the corridor scene when the Beastie Boys kicked in? Best scene since Quicksilver in the X-Men movies. It was an incredible scene. It really was an incredible scene.
awesome.
Who did it better though? Who did it better, Guardians or Mario Brothers the movie? No Sleep Till Brooklyn scene.
I haven't seen it. I'm seeing that hopefully this week at some point. But
They did it in the Mario Brothers movie. They do a bit where they turn it to like a side scroller, and he's like running around the like Brooklyn.
Nice.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I was a little bit disappointed. And when we're talking about action figures as well, Star-Lord, the action figure from Marvel Legends, has these new looking blasters. But in the movie, he had his normal guns.
He did. He had his normal guns.
So what the heck?
I thought they looked a lot smaller. Because after watching Guardians of the Galaxy 1,
they did look a lot smaller.
When I watched number 1 and I saw the big fight he does, with when it's him, Groot, and Drax,
they are huge.
Yeah. And then I didn't really. But even when I watched the film, I just thought they look more like you guys play Halo, right?
Yeah.
You know the grunts. Yeah, not the Needler, but the grunt's little weapon, the little one that you have to hold and charge.
Yeah.
That's what they reminded me of in that film. Like they really looked like that because I thought they're really tiny.
Hold on.
But yeah, they definitely have changed. So I don't know what came with the figure because obviously I don't get Legends. But
look what I've got here. Right, look, these are what came with the figure.
Oh yeah, that's very different.
He didn't have these guns in the film.
Is that from Star Trek?
These look like the guns that Groot had.
Phasers.
You know when he pulled all the guns out. That's what I think they look like. But he had his normal
Which was
guns.
Awesome, by the way.
I don't know. It's a bit odd. Speaking of Groot, again,
Kaiju mode.
We got the deluxe Groot that came with wings, and obviously we saw why he had wings. But I would have much preferred to have had all the arms with all the guns. Like that was a cool scene.
That will come, and I think there's one. I think that's gonna be on the way, and then you got like Kaiju Groot as well. When he does all the spit. I think there's gonna be like a. I think there's gonna be like a Groot pack, like a buildable Groot pack that you can do.
That would be cool.
Bits with. Which if and if they're not doing that, then that's really stupid because there's a lot you could do it with all the different parts. Give a Builder Groot pack. That would be a really good set, a Builder Groot set.
Yeah, no, I agree.
There's gonna be about 1,000 t-shirts now with the words "I love you guys" written on it.
Yeah, I thought that was actually really cool.
Yeah, same.
Because
really nice.
You know what I thought it was like? Because we saw Nebula. We saw Gamora understanding Groot at the end.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like the longer she was with him, she then understood him. And I saw that very much as James Gunn's way of kind of saying like you're understanding what he's saying, not
because
I didn't take that as him actually saying it.
Yeah, and that's how I saw it. But did you know that like Vin Diesel said in interviews that James Gunn has written scripts for Groot? Yeah. So he knows what he's saying.
So he can get the intonation right.
How cool would it be to read that, like the dialogue of Groot
They did the same
the
for
film.
Chewbacca, didn't they? In the original Star Wars films, they gave Chewbacca real lines for Han Solo to play off of, but they're just never in the
R2D2.
post production. Yeah, and then in
R2D2,
post production,
they didn't even know that was going to be bells and whistles until way late in production. They actually R2D2 originally was meant to have a voice.
Yeah, and like Dave Prowse was supposed to be the voice of Darth Vader until he went and saw it.
I love that clip on YouTube.
That clip. Yeah,
but he genuinely thought he was the voice of the thing. My mum used to work out at his gym. My mum and dad used to work out at his gym, and he went around boasting to everyone that he was in this new sci-fi film and told everyone to come and watch it. And then everyone went and watched it, and he wasn't in it. It was like he had to convince people.
I love it. Can you imagine if that was the voice of Darth Vader now? You are part of the Rebel Alliance and a traitor.
Yeah.
Mick very quickly in the comments has said,
my combine and the
rightfully
plans.
so, Adam Warlock does change when he's reborn. So I think what we've seen here is a very infant stage of Adam Warlock, and I think that he is going to be a character they're going to develop.
They did say in the film, didn't they, they lay him out too early.
Yeah. So this is a very kind of premature version of Adam Warlock. So, but yeah, I don't think this is going to be the Adam Warlock we'll have in the Kang Dynasty. Let's get into real spoiler territory and talk after credits, end of the movie and after credits. Peter Quill, where he went. What was your opinions on that? You like it?
I thought that was because it was right. Because one of the things that was always sad is obviously there's only a very small clip in Guardians 2 with the granddad. It's when he's in the car and they're driving away and he's actually in the car, isn't he? When all the grunts being like, and he's almost consumed by it. And you're like, you just think like, oh, but he still doesn't really know that Peter's alive. Like, and I always thought there was going to be something in, in Endgame. I really thought there's going to be something in Endgame where Peter then reunited him because he goes back to Earth. At one point, and I thought that was going to be maybe one of the end parts, but nothing. So I was really glad that it's like, I guess it's that fun thing. He's finally accepting his mother's passing and accepting that that's his home and stuff. Like, I think there's just it was a nice tidy arc.
Yeah. I think as well, because now he's back on Earth as well, for the future of Star-Lord, they can do that whole thing of, I'll go catch up with the other heroes. Now I'm back in New York or whatever. Obviously, a lot of things have changed since Endgame. A lot of things are now different. So it'll be cool to see Star-Lord like meeting up with the other Avengers and stuff like that now. Ant-Man
and Star-Lord would be a great pair.
Yeah. And at the end of the film, we got that thing that said, it's not the Fantastic Star-Lord, is it? The legendary Star-Lord will appear. Will be back. The legendary Star-Lord was his solo comic book, if I remember rightly. That was the name of his solo comics. Yep. So I think that's a nod of them saying he's going to get his solo movie or something, a TV series, something on his own.
There's going to be something. There's going to be something. But I really hope that it's not like a tongue-in-cheek like TV show of him on Earth, like doing random Earth stuff. Like, I hope it's him moving on somewhere else.
He just becomes Andy Dwyer from Parks and Rec.
And that's what I mean. Like, it's got to be something. But I do hope that, I mean, like Mick said
I'm sticking with my original theory. I'm still sticking with it. I think it could still happen. Shadowcat.
Oh, 100%. Kitty Pryde.
Kitty Pryde could appear in that with him. Yeah.
It will be the crossover, and they'll do it. But then, like, at what point does kind of Chris Pratt kind of stop? Like, they still need to establish all the X-Men and all that kind of stuff before they kind of cross over with Kitty Pryde.
Doesn't need to. They could just do it. They could just introduce Kitty Pryde, as a part of it, and then have him and her go on some adventures together in space. Maybe throw in some Fantastic Four references to get us excited for that. She separates from him to go back to the X-Men. He goes back to the Guardians. Done.
Yeah, fair enough.
You get to have the adventures of, Star-Lord and.
I don't know where Chris Pratt sits, because obviously with a lot of the others, we know how many films they were tied into, what their contracts were, and I don't actually remember what Chris Pratt, whether there was anything announced about how, how much he's tied into it or whatever. But I don't know. Like, is he going to be in it is it going to be something? I don't know. I hope it's more Chris Pratt Star-Lord. I really do. Talking of solo movies, that obviously leaves the Guardians behind. We saw Rocket take up the mantle of like the leader. Of course, Alpha Group as the as the big Groot there, which is really cool. I'm a bit disappointed he wasn't in his Guardians uniform, because in a lot of the comic books, Alpha Groot was in that blue and red uniform. But seeing sort of essentially Alpha Groot there is very cool. And then obviously the other members of the team, Adam Warlock, Kraglin, and
Cosmo.
That was supposed to be Philavel, wasn't it?
Yeah, Philavel. And she has massive crossovers with Miss Marvel and stuff like that, doesn't she? And she to do with all that kind of stuff.
She's the daughter of not Jude Law. What was Jude Law's character in Captain Marvel?
I can't remember his name, but yeah, it's to do with him, isn't it? It's because they've got the same name, Vel.
It's her. Vel. I'm sure it's his daughter in the comic books. I'm sure it is. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm sure that's who her dad is in the comic books. But either way, I mean, that was really cool. But seeing her,
maybe she'll appear in the Marvel film.
Possibly. Yeah. So she was a founder of the Guardians. Mix in the chat. He's given us the details. But yeah, it was cool to see that different lineup of the Guardians. I must admit, though, nobody called it. Yeah, Marvel's daughter. Yeah. But nobody called it, did they? Nobody called it right, because we were all deciding who was going to die.
No one died.
And all that kind of stuff.
I felt let down by that, because they did enough. They didn't, before the film came out, they did this whole thing of not everybody will come out of this alive. You're going to be shocked by the end of this film. There was nothing shocking in it. And then this is the bit that annoyed me. They did too many fake out moments. That bit at the beginning where they made it look like Drax was genuinely injured, and then they just fixed him up in seconds. It's like, nah, that should have been his send off. That would have been a big shock to the system. Like, oh crap, this guy killed Groot. Killed Drax so easily.
Yeah, but then they
made him more of a threat.
They couldn't have put him in the Guardians at the end. There's no way he could have killed Drax and then gone off. There was obviously a couple of deaths in it. Shelley said earlier on that we talked about a high evolutionary pack along with Rocket's animals, Floor, Layla, and Lila and T. But yeah, I just said I don't think I want that now. I'm going to have it because I've already ordered the figures before I went and saw the film for a couple of customs. But they were obviously some deaths. That bit genuinely choked me up. I'm not going to lie. Like, I didn't think I could get choked up over CGI'd animals, but it was just
there
quite
was a
sad.
lot of warnings about the amount of people that might be affected by the animal cruelty levels in this film. Like, I've seen a lot of like genuine warnings for people going like, if you're going to watch it, if you're an animal lover, it's going to be a really fucking hard watch sort of thing. I mean, I think it was just a hard watching for any human being really. With feelings,
it's pretend animals in space that can talk. Like, it's not like real animal cruelty. It's like
no, but I guess it's a bit like if it's something that does affect you, though. It's a bit like if you're affected by like car accidents and you see lots of car accidents on the screen, like that can be really triggering and difficult.
You don't like child cruelty, even though and you watch like the Smurfs. Like it's no, I do get it. And I did see it as well. I did see it as well. But yeah, I mean, it was tough, but. I don't know. I kind of expected him to. The way the trailers made it look was that he was reunited with those later on in the film. Obviously that didn't happen. There was part of me that thought it might have been a bit of a fake out, and then when he got there as an adult, they were there just kind of more kind of worked on or something. I don't know.
That's what I was expecting, actually, for him to have to fight like beefed up versions of them. That's what I thought was going to happen, like of Teeth and Floor.
Yeah.
Huh?
Like the War Pig, wasn't it? The War Pig.
Yeah, awesome.
That they're figures that we know we're getting at some point. Let's be honest. They're just like the mecha animals.
You thought you could escape, Rocket, but get ready for Pooh Bear.
I must admit, when I first saw War Pig, I thought of Piglet from the Death and Honey or whatever it's called, or Murder. It literally looks like a mecha version.
Dear, you're gonna have to die now.
But yeah, overall, I thought it was a really, really cool film. There was another bit as well that I did question. Oh, the Groot figure came with that little baby rocket, didn't it? And we were all
just to get the rocket.
Yeah, I know I was one of the people that was going like the timeline doesn't match up and all the rest of it. But we didn't even see Groot hold one of the baby raccoons that Raccoon saved. he didn't. There's not even a point where he holds a baby raccoon. I'm like, come on, like you've literally advertised this figure of him holding this raccoon. Like, nah, things
Thing
annoy
is
me.
that you don't know what stuff didn't make it. And there might have been the scene where he did hold one that got cut
Yeah,
because
mate.
there's always stuff in the trailers that, for example, it doesn't mean like there's some of the lines obviously get chopped up and stuff like that. But there's always a lot of stuff sometimes that doesn't make it into the films like last minute. And we know for a fact when we've had people on the show before from Hasbro, they
Yeah.
have confirmed that they'll get certain stuff ahead of time, but that doesn't necessarily make it in the film. I mean, Constable Zevo. So need I say more?
Yeah, fair enough. Just to correct myself, like Mick has said there, it's one that Captain Marvel helped escape, not Jude Law. Yes. I knew there was some kind of tie in there. I just didn't know where. But yeah, that's cool. Shelley's also said as well, the bit where he flatlined and met like I thought that was a little bit Harry Potter-esque. I'm not gonna lie. You know that scene where he goes to the train station and meets Dumbledore and sees the little Voldemort? I was kind of like, oh. I half imagined him to kind of glance over and on this side have Harry Potter and Dumbledore and glance over on that side and see Jane Foster and
Dumbledore,
Thor.
don't look now, but
like...
can you see a weird raccoon and then also with robot arms? Or is that just me? Is this what happens? Is this what happened to my parents? Are they here as well?
That scene in Harry Potter always made me laugh because it always makes it sound like Dumbledore saying, "You're a thick bastard, Harry." Like, is this all in my head? Of course it's in your head, Harry.
Yeah.
Wake the fuck up.
Best fake out moment from Mick there was the trailer making it look like Star-Lord died and Nebula holding his body, but it just turned out that in the actual film he was pissed. Do you know that they made a full mannequin for that as well? Have you seen the
Apparently
thing?
it just sits in James Gunn's office, doesn't it?
That's scary.
And it breathes and everything. Like it's
Ooh.
yeah, if you have a look on Instagram, I think on Marvel or James Gunn's account, like one of them shared a couple of behind the scene videos of them holding it, and then there's a close up and it like the chest goes up and down and stuff. But yeah, I mean that was a huge fake out moment because you see him carrying the body, but it's essentially just the title scene, isn't it?
There was too many fake outs, and by about the third one in, I'm like, yeah, this is just getting silly now. It's like you had the one at the beginning with you had Adam Warlock taking out Drax, then you had Drax getting shot to hell in that scene with the what do you call him? You had that fake out death. Then you had Rocket Raccoon's flatline. There were like 4 or 5 moments where someone could have died, and they just went, nah, we want to use these characters again.
The Rocket's
focusing on the positives because there's a lot of positives. I feel like whenever we talk about something, even though we're trying to be positive, you guys always find negatives and focus on negatives.
And
even
the
when
fake out as well.
But whenever you say you enjoy something so much, I swear it's always like, you know what else really annoyed me? Or, you know what it is? I'm like, did you enjoy it? Because I can never tell with you two.
Right, the Star-Lord fake out though at the end where he's going across space and his face.
I thought that was genuinely it.
I genuinely did. I was like, oh shit, it's Star-Lord they're killing off. But then they didn't.
I love that he went back
cool.
for the Zune as well, which was really cool. Do you know what one of my favorite little things is? You got to see Nathan Fillion, like, because he's made so many cameos and things. But I love Nathan Fillion in like anything Nathan Fillion does, and seeing him as the prison guard. But I don't know why. I just found it so funny about the idiot being like, "Yeah, I've got one of those." I don't know why. And then later on, it comes up again in the torture bit, and I'm just vaporizes the guy and going like, "Yeah, I've got one of those. I know exactly what you." I just found him really fucking funny, and I would love. It's a shame that it's a character that we probably won't see again because I just think Nathan Fillion's comedic timing is just so brilliant.
He's very cool.
I was glad he was in
Mick
it.
said though that you never get that many fake outs, but that in itself made the film. And I agree. I do agree. Like it got to the stage where it was kind of like I didn't expect anyone to die come the end of it. I kind of there was a point in the movie where I was like, they're all getting that happy ending. Like we're gonna see some kind of completion. And I think that's really nice for once, actually, instead of having someone die, instead of us coming out of it going, oh man, like this has changed, that's changed. Technically, they're all there. Like we could have a Guardians reunion, Guardians Volume 4 10 years down the line. Like none of them have been written out of it, which is really cool. I want to know where Mantis goes. I want to know where that story goes. I think there's potential to explore that as well. But yeah, it's I did really enjoy it. There were a lot of things where I was kind of like, hang on, like what? Oh, I thought it was this, I thought it was that. But yeah, overall, I really, really did enjoy it. And my favorite, excuse me, my favorite bit that not overall, no, they're making you yawn. But one of the things that I absolutely loved was the fact that we got a very small clip of Yondu, like, and it wasn't a flashback; he was actually in it, and I was like, "That's it. That's made the film for me." Because what's Guardians without Yondu, you know? So,
all the Ravagers being back, but the helmet not voiced by Miley Cyrus this time.
no, it's
Yeah.
Like everyone-
Tara Strong.
Yeah, who is a
Who-
prolific voice actor of awesomeness.
But she's already in the MCU as Miss. What's the clock in Loki?
Yeah,
Miss
Minutes.
Yeah. Miss Minutes.
So, but
she's
yeah, I mean,
Universe's computer voice.
yeah, you wouldn't know like necessary, but I just an odd one that it wasn't Miley Cyrus.
And now I'm gonna get my own spin-off. I have my own Ravagers. It would be the Ravagers of the Galaxy. It's coming soon. You're gonna love it. It's gonna be a great picture.
But I did love that. I did love that kind of how hard it was for them to all say goodbye to Gamora, but then she got back to them lot,
Yes.
and they were all really happy to see her. And it's kind of like, you know
so
what?
nice.
That's that version's Gamora to like that's her group, that's her family, and I just thought that's something you don't think of when you're watching a film that follows a certain character arcs or certain characters. And I was like, wow, she's actually got her own thing going on, and it was really beautifully illustrated just by them all laughing and hugging and stuff like that. I just thought that was really, really nice, really, really touching.
Can I ask one last question before we sort of wrap? I know we're getting close to the time, but one thing that's a Guardians of the Galaxy thing that we haven't talked about is like, what did you guys think of the soundtrack?
Yeah,
because like that's such a synonymous thing with the films. Like I thought it was a phenomenal soundtrack, and I think it's really interesting that you can see the evolution of eras.
yeah, it goes
goes
through
on.
the eras, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, I liked it. The earlier films, the first one and probably the second one more so. The first one, the soundtrack came out of nowhere and everyone like hit everyone sideways. The second one, everyone expected a big soundtrack, and therefore it became really big, didn't it? Like with Mr. Blue Sky and stuff. This one, I thought that they did enough, but subtle, if that makes sense. Like they didn't try to make a theme song. There were so many good songs, like, you know, Creep at the beginning. It's Creep, wasn't it, that they played?
yeah,
like,
the acoustic version as well, unusually, rather than the
so good, like so good. And the way that they cut like the Beastie Boys song, and the way, like you say, that it grew. I mean, I was out at the shops today, and the only thing I was tempted to buy was the CD or the vinyl of the soundtrack. But then I thought, I've got subscription to Apple Music, so why am I doing that? But I yeah, it was a brilliant soundtrack.
And we had Come and Get Your Love, like the song at the end as well. Like that was a great.
Yeah,
I love the fact they were having that conversation about music. I don't know why. I thought that was just really funny. Like Rocket, who said about how stupid it was at the beginning, and it's like now it's his thing as much as Quill's.
Yeah,
like, you know,
and Drax dancing, like finally saw Drax dancing, and just as well, just kind of so beautifully highlighting that he has been a comedic character the whole way through, but there was so much more underneath that we didn't see or you didn't necessarily think about. So just before finishing it up, James Gunn's kind of written it, so it's like, you know what, this guy's got layers, you've just only looked at the top one, sort of thing. So yeah, I loved it. I absolutely loved it, and I'll probably go and see it again in the cinema.
Cinema.
Yeah.
Stephen Butler with a very last minute complete subject change.
Last minute,
Right
literally on the mark. Literally on the mark. Just remembered I saw some D&D cartoon animation sales. An auction that sold for £900 is one of them. It shows Wenger's horse with wings. I need to send you these. Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Apologies
to Matt Damon, but we ran out of time. Sorry.
Stephen, yes, we would like to see those. Please put those £900 animation sales in a stamp addressed envelope and send it to. No, I know that you. Send us links. Anyway, that is about it. You gents got anything else you want to add?
Dale.
So
Will the show be back next week? Will Ryan show up for next episode?
No,
Tune in.
because I'm not going to be here.
Oh,
Sorry.
for God's sake.
Ryan is
I am
not
actually
gonna
not
be
going to be
here.
here next week, by the way, just to give everyone a heads up. So sorry,
next
guys.
Week's episode. Next week's episode is episode 99. Episode
No,
99.
no.
Now, we have got something happening on episode 100 that just kind of marks the occasion, which is quite exciting. We think it's exciting anyway. No one will probably care, but we are excited. But Ryan is not here with us now next week. So you'll be here on episode 100. So join me and Coral next week.
I got told I'd get fired if I didn't turn up for that. So
Yeah, you kind of need to keep your job. But yeah, so next week, episode 99 for me and Sorrel, rounding off the last episode before the triple digits, which is exciting.
and then, like it's like the old days.
Yeah. And then yeah, we'll be back for episode 100 in 2 weeks' time. Cool. Good episode. Obviously had loads to unpack with May 4th and of course Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Try to cover as much as we can, but do join us next week. Check out the Geek Week in review .co.uk. Check that out for, of course, all of the social links and all the rest of it. Go and follow us on various different social media platforms and all that kind of stuff. If you're new to the show, thank you very much for sticking around. If you're one of our regular follows, thank you very much for sticking around. Till then,
Keep it geek.
keep it geek.